My name is Navigator, and today I want to go over my inventory, specifically what I keep just on me, and I want to go over my Rifleman loadout and what specific perks I have. Now, before I go into this, I just want you guys to keep in mind that this is tailored to my character, my playstyle, my build. I understand that people might have differing opinions. However, if you guys have any advice, if you see this and you have any advice on anything that I should use, please don't be afraid to tell me. And I'm not saying that just because I want you to comment on the video or on the stream. Please, I would love any help regarding the game. That'd be great. So, without any further ado, I'm just going to open up my Pip-Boy, and we are going to start with the weapons. Now, we're going to go through here, and honestly, what might be a little bit easier is if I go from my weapon wheel. So we'll use my weapon wheel, and we're going to start off here with Occam's Razor. This is a 40% faster swing speed, 50% damage to humans, so assassins, and 15% less damage while blocking, although I only really have it because of the faster swing speed. Now, this knife is great. This is a combat knife with the Radstag hunting knife skin on it, and what's interesting about that is when you actually hold this knife, it's really big. Now, you might not be able to see it too well in my hand there, but it's a lot bigger than a knife. It's almost similar to just about a machete. So let me see. Let me hop here in photo mode. You guys might be able to see. Oh wait, I gotta pull it out first. Here we are. So you can see it's a pretty big knife. Now, I don't know if that's on purpose or a glitch, but that thing is like a sword almost, like a dagger. So that's Occam's Razor. Now, the name from that comes from a term, I think it's a psychological, social term, but I'm not going to go into the description of that. It'd actually be more intelligent if you looked it up yourself. So, we're going to move on to the next thing, and that is the flare gun. Now, I don't have any flares on me right now, but the flare gun is useful for a lot of things, not only just illuminating an area, maybe doing some damage to an enemies, but it also helps you to alert nearby players. I've been in situations where I've used my flare gun and players that were in the area actually came to my aid, and as opposed to, like emoting or going on the map and seeing if somebody is nearby, there's a possibility that someone might see your flare and say, hey, I might go over there. Now, I first got that idea because when you see supply drops, you run towards that smoke, so I figured if someone sees a flare, they might run as well. And who knows? It might work. So, the next melee weapon I want to go over is Salamander Surprise. So this is a weapon that I'm currently using just for the new update. I've been using this for the Moonshine Jamboree event. Although it isn't really great, doesn't really go with my class, it does some good damage, and I don't have a great roll on it, it's still incredibly fun to use. And I think that there's a secret stagger effect that this weapon actually has that they never told us about, but that's a different story, and it could be speculation. Seems like I've got somebody here. I Boogie Mon L. Let me give him a little emote so he knows I'm here. And we're going to move on. Now, this weapon, Medicine Stick, is the weapon I want to get to last, because that is the main weapon I'm using. I have it right here because that's actually a very easily available slot to go, especially when you're in the middle of a fight. It's easy to just flip up and select that rifle there. We're going to move on to the next thing. Now, you notice I have a knife and an M79 grenade launcher on a Rifleman class, and you might be thinking, hey, Nav, what are you doing? Those aren't really going to work. Like, why are you using those? Well, the knife, to start with, is a good weapon, If you find yourself in a situation where maybe you don't have ammo... Oh, excuse me. I had to cough there for a second. Maybe you don't have ammo. Maybe you want to go in stealthy, something like that. It's nice to have a blade on you. Maybe you're helping out some friends lower levels, but that's not the point. It's just always good to have a nice, reliable blade on you. Now, I have the 79 grenade launcher because I have the, let's pull it up here, Demolitions Expert perk. And what that does is it increases my explosive damage by 60%, and obviously that doesn't just include frag grenades or any kind of explosive like that, but it also works on any weapons that have bullets explode or some kind of explosive thing like a grenade launcher. So although it might not fit with my Rifleman loadout, actually, honestly it might. I don't even know what class an M79 grenade launcher would fit under, but it does a shit ton of damage. Let's see what that had. Yeah, this is Thump Thump, and this is named after the unique M79 launcher that you get in Fallout New Vegas. I believe from, that lady who ran that gas station, but I can't quite remember her name. But you can see 528 damage in a 2-shot. It's pretty damn sweet. It's very, very helpful in situations where you have large groups of low-level enemies like Scorched and Feral Ghouls. So moving on, we're going to go to Destabilizer. Let me actually hold that in my hand. So this is the Stabilizer. Looks like someone's buying some plans from me. This is the Alien Disintegrator Rifle that was added with the Invaders from Beyond update. And the name Destabilizer comes from... I gotta make sure I don't get max caps. I gotta be careful here. But the name Destabilizer comes from the unique variant that you can find in the Mothership Zeta DLC from Fallout 3. And as you can see, I have a 2-shot variant on this rifle, and it actually comes in handy. 165 damage might seem low, but it's pretty damn good. I mean, I carry it with me, so it must be. Next, we're going to move on to the AER-14 prototype. This is named after another unique weapon, a laser rifle, that you can obtain from one of the vaults in Fallout New Vegas. I have the Amateur Inventor's paint on here. I like it. It's very weathered. I like the tape that you can see on the receiver or the barrel there. And I'm still rolling it, although plus 25 damage while aiming and instigating, 90% reduced weight. Not that bad of rolls, although I'm still trying to find a 2-shot if that's possible. Moving on, this is the Survivalist Rifle. Sorry, Survivalist Rifle. I think I might have mispronounced that. Now, this is a personal favorite weapon of mine. As you can see, I have the Screaming Eagle paint on here, and that makes it look like an M4A1 as opposed to an AK-47, which the handmade rifle typically looks like. Let's give this a better view. Now, I named this the Survivalist Rifle after the unique service rifle that you can find in the Honest Hearts DLC of Fallout New Vegas. I mean, as you can see over here, Randall Clark, the Survivalist, is a very, very big influence of mine when it comes to Fallout. I mean, I got Ranger armor here, and I'll show you something in a second that might pique your interest regarding Mr. Clark. Back to the rifle. I have a Bullets Explode 2-shot on here, so it's a very, very effective weapon. I'll never be selling this in my entire playthrough of this entire game. And I specifically made it to have 10-round mags, just like the service rifle does in Fallout New Vegas. Now, in certain situations, this can be a little tricky and annoying, as I don't have a lot of bullets to take down an enemy, but, you know, you make do with what you have, similar to what Mr. Clark had to do when he was in Zion Canyon. So, moving on to my favorite and final weapon that I mainly use, this is Medicine Stick. This is a 2-shot Bullets Explode +1 perception lever action rifle. I have the Pioneer Scout paint on it. Obviously I have a suppressor, and I believe I have a medium scope on it. Now, I love this skin. There's a lot of skins for the lever action. The Blue Ridge Caravan one would be a nice second for me, as I'm a huge Blue Ridge Caravan fan. But the gold on here, you know, you really just can't get over something like that. It just looks phenomenal. You can see I don't use night vision. That's not really my style. But I'm using VATS for the most part, so it's not really like I'm aiming down. I just think this weapon looks amazing. The reloading effect is so cool. And those bullets pop out of there. It's such a satisfying sound, especially with a suppressor. And that there is Medicine Stick, which is named after the unique, I believe it is the brush gun that you can get from Fallout New Vegas from the Gun Runner's Arsenal update. So, yeah, that's that. Moving on from weapons, we're going to go to armor. So, this section won't be so long, as I don't really have any crazy variants of armor, but what I will show you is my Brotherhood Recon armor, Now this armor you can get from doing daily ops, or if you are lucky enough, Minerva, who is the traveling, wandering gold bullion salesman, might have some of these pieces, including the jetpack, on sale. I love this armor. To my knowledge, it gives the highest base damage resistance in the game. You might be thinking to yourself, Secret Service does that. Secret Service does have very, very good DR, but again, to my knowledge, I believe it has an even higher energy resistance damage, which the Brotherhood of Recon lacks. However, again, the Brotherhood of Recon makes up for that in normal ballistic damage. This in front of me being the Secret Service armor. On the left, just for side notes, is the Arctic Marine armor, and on the right is the solar armor that you can acquire from Vault 79. We got the, well, that's a story for another day, those other two outfits. Let's move back to my armor. So as you can see, I had the Brotherhood Recon. I'm just going to throw my clothes back on. And they are named the 91st after a roleplay Brotherhood of Steel group that I was in, which was the 91st Brotherhood of Steel Recon Division. Now, I'm not really a big role player, but this was an homage to all the friends and the good times that I had when I was in that group. And if you yourself ever come across a roleplay group or some kind of milsim, don't think of it as something that's going to be incredibly nerdy or childish or weird, you know. Take a crack at it. If you don't like it, you can always leave, and who knows, you might have a good time, especially on 76. So moving on, the other two pieces of armor that I carry on me are obviously the stealth suit. Now I have named this the Stealth Armor Mark II, after the stealth armor that you can acquire, and it is either Dead Money or Old World Blues. Right now I can't really remember, but it's named after the New Vegas variant of the stealth suit, because I know you can also acquire it in 3 and 4. The last piece of armor I want to show you is my power armor. So, in another homage and kind of lore-friendly thing to the Fallout series, this is the Equalizer paint, and
after the news.
Yeah, great. I really needed to know that, Forager. If you're a keen Fallout fan, you might notice that this is actually Frank Horrigan's armor from the first Fallout game. First Fallout game? Second Fallout game? Second. You know who Frank Horrigan is, and if you don't, look him up. But this is the Equalizer, or Frank Horrigan armor. And on top of this, I have the... You know, I'm kind of in the middle of something here, Forager. Could you just wait a second? Anyways, I have the Father Winter helmet on here from the Fosnot event, and it looks pretty sweet. I love the mustache and the bald head and the big white unibrow. It's pretty dope. But that's my power armor, and I only typically use that in events where there's high radiation, like Eviction Notice, or a Colossal Problem, or a Scorch Beast Queen. But I'm not a big power armor user. Now next, we're going to move on to Apparel. Now Apparel is my absolute favorite part about this game. I am completely and utterly obsessed with apparel. I love customizing my character and how they look. So, at the very top of our list, we are going to show the Armored Vault 76 jumpsuit. Now, this comes with the Season 8 scoreboard, which sadly just ended, so if you didn't get this, unfortunately, it might be a long time, if ever, that you might get this outfit. But it is basically an armored version of the Vault 76 jumpsuit. Now, it is named the Survivor, or Vault Survivor's outfit. That is the name of the outfit and the headwear that we get. But I figured that Armored Vault 76 jumpsuit would be a nice callback to the Armored Vault jumpsuits that you can get in previous Fallout games, while staying in the lore-friendly 76, you know, whatever. But if I were to take my backpack and my jetpack off, you would see that there was a big 7.6 on the back of this jumpsuit. So, it's mine. Who cares? I love it. I especially love the Colt 45 Peacemaker on the right hip. I think that's a great touch, especially for me. I'm a big cowboy fan, as you can see from the hat, and kind of my style, maybe even the way I talk, but that's a different story as well. Moving on. This is the Assassin suit. It is the Secret Service Under Armour. It would take a little bit of effort to show you. I don't really need to, but it's named the Assassin suit after one of the suits you can get in the Dead Money update. It looks kind of similar. The next thing that I have is a black eye patch. Now, there's nothing really super concerning about this. I don't really have a big reason or kind of roleplay reason for why my character's missing an eye. It just looks badass. The next thing I have, though, is the Desert Ranger armor. Now, if you remember earlier, I talked about the survivalist, Randall Clark. In one of the caves, you can find Randall Clark's desert armor. Now, it might not have been his, as he found it in what was previously Salt Lake City in the years following the war, but this 76 version, along with the desert paint that you can get for it, looks identical. Aside from the etchings and the personal engravings, looks very identical to the one from New Vegas. So I carry this on me, as very frequently I will see players wearing other Ranger outfits, or my friends will wear it, and I like to blend in a little bit and show my appreciation for the Rangers. The next thing we have here is the ghillie suit. Now, I have named this Dodge's ghillie suit after Vernon Dodge, and if you don't know who that is the gentleman who runs the Daily Ops. And if you look very closely at him, you will notice that he is wearing a ghillie suit. So that's a nice little homage to him. And as you can tell by now, I very much love naming my things and making them have some kind of Fallout meaning. Just like you can see with this next one here, Maxon's Battle Coat. This is a recent, or at least recent to me, addition to the game. I know that there's been a bundle with this outfit before, but it's unlike any other outfit you can get aside from a couple, because it is a Microsoft Store bundle. It's not in the Atomic Shop, so you actually have to spend money on this, and I believe it comes in a bundle where you can get this outfit and 1,500 atoms. And as of June 2022, that bundle's still in the store, so why don't you go grab it. It's a great outfit, nice throwback to Fallout 4. So moving on here is my backpack. Now, this is the Blue Ridge Caravan backpack. You can get this. It's a very, very low, I think around 5% percentage, getting this from the Riding Shotgun event, which you can find in the Cranberry Bog with the Blue Ridge Caravan. Now, I worked my ass off to get this backpack, and I am so glad that I get to display it. I really don't think that I'll ever need another backpack again, not even if it's an Atomic Shop one. I don't care how cool it looks. I worked too damn hard to ever wear anything else aside from this. Moving on. This is the Radical's face mask. Now, I carry this on me for one specific outfit, and I'll show you that later. Now, this is an incredibly rare and unique item, and not a lot of people know how to get it because it's very hard to miss. To put it short, in the beginning of the game you can side with the Wayward or the Free Radicals. Typically, people end up siding with the Wayward, but if you side with the Free Radicals, there's not a chance, but a definite that you will get this mask. And what's interesting about that is even if you side with the Free Radicals, you can still do the main story missions for the Wayward. Makes no sense. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place. I had to pay $15,000 for this. Whatever. Let's move on. The next thing we have here is the cowboy hat, as it is called in the Atomic Shop, but I have named it the Ranger Gray Hat, after the hat that I never took off during my entire playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, and that carried on into this game, as I never take it off, along with my black eye patch, and one more item that you will see fairly soon. Going down the list, we have the elusive Tattered Field Jacket. Now, I'm not going to tell you how I got this, a little ashamed of it, but this is one of the rarest items in the entire game, and honestly, I'm just glad that I have it. It's great. This fits in with my Free Radicals mask outfit, which I'll show you in a second, but man, this thing is just a wonderful piece of clothing. It looks like dog shit, it might look like that, but man, it is so cool, especially for lore-friendly characters. Oh man, it's awesome. Next, this is one of the other items that I religiously wear, and this is Ulysses' mask. This is named after the mask that Ulysses wears in Fallout New Vegas, the Lonesome Road DLC. Originally, though, it is the Raider Pathfinder mask from one of the bundles you can acquire in the Atomic Shop. Going down, and I believe this is the second to last thing, is a wedding ring. Now, you can find this at one specific location. I believe it's a bench with a couple, somewhere out here in the wasteland. But,
Never
you
too
know, it's a nice
old
little
to make
accessory that
more
you don't really have to take off. It
money.
won't auto come off. And reminds me of Nora and Nate from Fallout 4. Now, the final item that I have in here is the wrapped cap. Now, this item isn't super rare, but it is actually the second item that fits in with the tattered field jacket outfit. So, very quickly, I'm going to show you what my outfit for the tattered field jacket looks like. Wrapped cap, tattered field jacket, Radical's face mask. And the cool thing about it, the face mask blends right in with the wrapped cap. Even the brim sticks right out. But those horns on top are still there. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? I love this outfit. I'm going to throw back on my rituals, my black eye patch, my ranger gray hat, and I'll throw on the battle coat, just because it's a little chilly out here in the cranberry bog. The next tab we have is food and drink. Now, really, I only carry things like a carry weight booster and, you know, maybe a Rogers Reserve because I have no idea what the fuck this does. Same thing with the bubblegum, you know, that's just throwaway stuff. The Meyer Magic Moonshine is just because the new event obviously does plus 100 gulp or smacker damage, so why wouldn't you use it? But the number one thing I want to talk about is this honey right here. Now, some of you might be asking, well, why do you have honey? If you do your daily missions, and I'm sure a lot of you do, you might as well keep a dick ton of honey on you so that when you speak to Sweetwater, when you're doing the Strange Brew quest, that's what it is, you can just talk to her, do a 360, and then finish the mission. And you know what? Most of the time, she ends up giving you anywhere from 8 to 10 honey back. So you can just come back the next day and do the same thing. Easiest mission in the whole game. Sweetwater is the best. Moving on. Aid. I always carry an Addict-All on me because sometimes I'll be wandering around and I might drink one too many beers. So I always want to have a spare Addict-All on me to alleviate that addiction. The next thing, which I don't typically carry on me, but I wanted to include it in the video, is just a buff out. Sometimes you might have just enough stuff to make you over encumbered, but you don't want to get rid of it. A buff out is always a great way to increase your carry weight. Lunch boxes. They give double XP. What else do I need to say? Same thing with the stim packs. Survival syringes, they're a legendary perk. I don't use the fucking things. Whatever. Moving on. Miscellaneous, doesn't matter. Hollow, doesn't matter. Notes, I have a couple plans, doesn't really matter though. Junk, scrap box. Mods, nothing. Ammo. Now, as you get into higher levels, you're going to notice that prime receivers are what you're mainly going to want to use for your weapons. Now, I don't need to go into this. I'm not going to go into this. But all of the weapons, if not all of them, that I have use Ultra Sight. My 45 rounds are for my Fixer, my submachine gun, and especially my lever action rifle. Now, Ultra Sight 45 is what I believe to be the most popular kind of prime ammo, so it's not that difficult to find. The next thing I have, as you can see up at the top of my Pip-Boy, is my grenade rounds. Now, those are self-explanatory. The 5mm, I'm actually saving that for a friend, so don't worry about that. The Alien Blaster round, the Fusion Cores, the 5.56, and the Ultrasight Fusion Cells are also explanatory. That is what I have in my inventory. And to end this video, I'm just going to quickly go over my perks and my perk cards. So, this is my Rifleman loadout. What we have here for strength is strong back. Obviously, any kind of carry weight that I can get, I'm going to take. I have the high capacity backpack mod. I have everything you could possibly imagine to make sure that I can carry as much bullshit as possible, especially with that new take-all option. Traveling pharmacy. Weight of my chems are reduced because stim packs weigh just an absurd amount. Bandolier for my ammo. Well, that's ballistic ammo, and you'll see over there in intelligence I have batteries included, but we'll get to that in 1 second. Rifleman perks. Very self-explanatory. Tank killer. Your rifles and pistols ignore 36% armor and have a 9% chance to stagger. Why would I not want to have that on? And the final thing I got on here is concentrated fire, just to make sure that I can aim for the head or the torso when I'm killing Scorched, or whatever it might be. Life Giver, plus 45 to your maximum health. No brainer. Ironclad, gain 50% damage in ER while not wearing power armor. I don't wear power armor. Gain 50 damage. Easy. Easy. Squad maneuvers. Squad maneuvers? Shit, I didn't realize I had that on me. Huh. Oh well. Tenderizer. Great perk. Make your target receive 10% more damage for 10 seconds after you attack. Again, no brainer. Batteries included. Energy weapon. You can read. I don't need to read it for you. First aid. You can read. Demolition Expert. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Great perk to have, especially for explosive weapons. Action Boy and Marathoner are for my VATs and just so I can run the hell out of dodge when I need to. Born Survivor. Falling below 20% health will automatically use a stim pack once every 20 seconds. You don't need to have a rank 3. Rank 1 is perfectly fine, especially for high levels. And since I only have rank 1, I don't need a high charisma in order to share this perk with my teammates. Invaluable perk. Very versatile. You should have it. Class Freak. The negative effects of your mutations are reduced by 50%. I only have like maybe a handful of mutations. Definitely I have Speed Demon and Marsupial, but the negative effects of those really aren't that bad. Starch Jeans. Honestly, if you have a mutation and you don't have this, what are you doing, bro? And the final perk that I have on here is Bloody Mess. 15% bonus damage means that enemies may explode into a gory red paste. Now, the word may there, nah. They will always explode into a gory red paste. Do not get me wrong. 15% damage? Come on, you might as well put it on there. Why not? Legendary perks. This is honestly up to the individual. This is just what I prefer. I have a strength card, intelligence card, and an agility card, as well as a perception, but the only two specific legendary perks that I use are what rads. I fucking hate rads. If you're a bloody build, blow me. I don't care, alright? This slowly takes away rads. You never have to worry about it, but the best part about it is you can sell rad away for 5 caps a piece and get your caps from the vendor every day. So as opposed to using it, I can just fucking sell it. And one of the best ones, especially for a Rifleman build to have, is Far-Flung Fireworks. Enemies killed with a ranged weapon have a 13% chance to explode. Now, 13% chance might sound low, but when you're shooting enemies like a million a minute at a Scorched Beast Queen, those explosions are going off very frequently. Great perk to have, and with that, I'm going to end the video here. Be back out here. Now, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a really good day. Take care.